This is part 3 of the Compulsory Heterosexuality, Am I a Lesbian? Masterdoc. Signs of compulsory heterosexuality. If you relate to or identify with lots of these things, I'd say it's worth an investigation into why so many of these things resonate with you. Is it because you have a specific taste in men, or because society has conditioned you to want this? Ooh. Is it because you had bad experiences with men related to trauma, or because these kinds of desires have been ingrained in you? In no way are all of these experiences of lesbians who once thought that they liked men, but these are the most common ones from lesbians I have gathered. Attraction to men. Deciding which guys to be attracted to, not to date, but to be attracted to, based on how well they match a mental list of attractive qualities. You have a list of impossible criteria in your head that a man must meet for you to be attracted to him. If you ever meet someone who matches all of the criteria, you just add more impossible standards. I feel like everyone's done that, come on. I am constantly testing my attraction to men. I pick one or more conventionally attractive men in the room and try and force myself to be attracted to them. That's just mean. I like the idea of being with a man, but any man that makes a move on me, I get incredibly uncomfortable. Oh, next page if you want a screenshot. I do not like the reality of men, only the idea of being with men. Oh, that's gonna sting a few people. I feel like there's a lot of straight women that's gonna hurt. I like the idea of marrying a man, being in a relationship with a man, but I can always pick out a reason why I do not want to date a man that is interested in me, or any man suggested to me. These reasons are sometimes reasonable, but often insignificant. Parentheses, i.e., quotes, I don't like a guy who has their hair like that. He has a weird mole on his face. He's too tall. I can fantasize about men and find men attractive, but thinking about realistically being with a man makes my stomach churn. These are savage. Only developing attraction to a guy after a female friend expresses attraction to him. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Your friend fancies a guy and you're like, oh, I fancy him too. Like, no, what's that? I do think, though, the idea of being with a man is a lot easier than being with a man, I will say. I like getting attention from men and being validated in my attractiveness. But the moment it goes from attention to an interaction, parentheses, i.e. from flirting to asking out, I start panicking. Getting jealous of a specific female friend's relationship with guys and assuming you must be attracted to the guy she's with. Parentheses, even if you never noticed him before she was interested in them. I don't understand. I don't get that. I don't get the whole jealous and your friend likes a guy, so then I just can't relate. You view relationships with men as a chore, burden, or something you must deal with. Yeah. Is that not how everybody feels? Confusing strong emotional connection / dependency with a man for romantic feelings can be due to a mental illness. Well, we've all been there. You get crushes on just about every guy you're friendly with because there's no real difference between friendships and crushes to you. No, there is a difference. No. You feel like you could theoretically be attracted to men, parentheses. You may even have fantasies about them. But in practice, you have never had any feelings for them. Picking a guy at random to be attracted to. Screenshot if you want. Next page. Choosing to be attracted to a guy at all, not just choosing to act on it, but flipping your attraction on like a switch. That's a common lesbian thing. Is it? I can switch it off. I can switch it off. Once I decide, once I get enough bad shit happens that I'm like, I actually can't deal with you anymore. A switch goes off and I'm just like, never want to see you ever again. But I've never switched it on. Having such high standards that literally no guy meets them and feeling no spark of attraction to any guy who doesn't meet them. I feel like no, that's not true. I feel like the bar's on the floor. Everybody knows that the bar is in hell at this point. And I don't know any woman that has high standards, never mind being able to meet them, because it's realistically, it's quite hard to meet anybody who meets low standards, I think. You are far more certain about being attracted to women than you are about being attracted to men. Feel slightly called out there. Only / mostly being into guys who are gender non-conforming or feminine in some way. Alternatively, the guys I like are always hyper-masculine, man's man, who embodies everything about manliness. I think neither. You want to date / fall in love / get married / have kids / etc. with a guy, but the guy you dream about is never specific and may as well be a cardboard cutout. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. I feel like a lot of people called out there. I feel like a lot of people of any sexuality fucking rinsed there. All of my fantasies around men are always with faceless, nameless men. The more realistic the fantasy and the more details about my partner I invent, the less excited into my fantasy I become. I just don't think I've ever got into like that detail about fantasies to really be able to compare non-specific and specific fantasies. Only mostly being attracted to unattainable, disinterested, or fictional guys, or guys you never or rarely interact with. Parentheses such as teachers, married, or older men, or men that live far away. Particular shout out to me there. Similar to only crushing on famous or fictional men, the men you like may be gay or in relationships, as they are also unattainable. Parentheses, if they're in a relationship, you may even start to wonder if it's actually the woman that you have a crush on. What? I don't know how you would ever get that confused. I don't know how you would ever go from, oh, I really fancy that man, to no, actually, I fancy his girlfriend and that's why I fancy that man. That makes absolutely no sense to me. You lose all attraction or get extremely uncomfortable if there's any implications that they might like you back. You get deeply uncomfortable and losing all interest in these unattainable guys if they ever indicate that they might reciprocate. Okay, next page. You mistake the desire for male approval as attraction. You don't necessarily want relationships with a man, but you want men to want a relationship with you. Surely that's everyone. Surely we all want to be wanted more than we want. No? Okay, I'm going to have to do another part for this page.